Is it on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Sarah, would you like to tell me about what lesson I will be observing tomorrow?
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing a comprehension lesson when you come to observe me. Before reading, we're going to create an anchor chart on inferential and text-based questions.
Okay.
The anchor chart will have a teacher created paragraph, and I'm going to explain what a text-based question is and show them how to answer one through that teacher created paragraph, and then I'll show them what an inferential question is and how to answer that within the teacher created paragraph.
Okay.
And then we're just going to discuss the difference between the two types of questions, and then we're going to I'm going to show them the text, and we're going to make a prediction what we think is going to happen, because that's a skill that we've been working on.
Okay.
And then once they make their predictions, we're going to read the book. And as we're reading, we're going to stop at certain parts to answer the questions, or to answer questions that I'm going to ask. And the questions will be text-based and inferential questions. And then after we read, I'm going to meet one-on-one with each student, and I'm going to ask them one text-based question and one inferential question based on the story. And while I'm working with one student, the other student will be answering an exit slip, and on the exit slip, it will ask them if they enjoyed the text, why or why not, just so I can get a grasp on what type of books they enjoy reading. And then the two TTs will swap. So the student that I was working with will then answer the exit slip, and the other one will answer my questions.
Good. So as a follow-up, you said that you're going to have them, as an exit slip, write about what they enjoyed about the story. Are you going to have them share that at the end, or are you just going to read that on your own in the lesson?
I think that I'm going to have them share it with each other to see. After they're both done, I'm going to have them explain if they liked it or not.
Good. They might like to do that too, to share. So why did you decide to plan this lesson for a comprehension? What made you come to this decision?
Based on the CRI, both of the students struggled with some of the inferential questions.
Okay.
One of the students got many of the text-based questions correct, but really struggled with those inferential questions. And so the reason why I'm going to do text-based and inferential is because it kind of grows on her strengths.
Great.
And also will help her with the inferential, which is the weakness. And then the other student, they were kind of inconsistent with the questions that they got right and wrong, so that kind of made me think maybe they don't know the different types of questions. So explaining to them what a text-based question is versus inferential might help that student to understand the difference.
Good. And you said you're going to have them answer text-based and inferential. Are you going to tell them before you ask the question whether it's a text-based one or an inferential one?
In the beginning, I think I'm going to, and then once they start to answer the questions, maybe I'll have them come up with if they think it's text-based or inferential based on the question. So then they can kind of understand the different types of questions as they're reading.
Good. And when you said you're going to ask them text-based questions. When you do that, are you going to have them go back and show you in the text where they found the answer? Or are you going to have them do it from memory?
I think in the beginning I'm going to have them show me in the text where they found that answer, just so that they have a solid understanding that text-based means it's directly in the story. And then maybe when I'm doing the inferential questions, I'll have them show me the area that kind of guided them to get the answer, but also what was in their schema that led them to that answer.
And I know you're going to have the conversation with them between the text-based and inferential while they're reading, and then you're going to have them share their exit slip. How are you going to know that the lesson was successful at the end?
At the end, I'll know if the students, so when I'm having that one-on-one conversation with them, I'm also going to be writing anecdotal notes based on their responses to the questions. And if they're able to give me an answer to a text-based question that is correct, then I'll know they'll understand text-based questions. But and then inferential, if they're able to use their background knowledge and what the text says to come up with an answer, then that will show me that they understand inferential questions. One of the students, I noticed that she uses a lot of her background knowledge but doesn't connect it back to the text. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious if this lesson will help that student
The
make that
connections.
connection. Yeah.
And you said that you're going to know if they're successful by taking anecdotal notes and then kind of looking at that after. So what if one student is more successful than the other? How are you going to approach that?
If one of the students is more successful than the other during the lesson, then I'm
Yes.
going to kind of have them work together and help each other as they're answering the question. So, for example, if I asked a text-based question to one of them and they don't know, and I ask them to look back in the story and they still don't know, I might have the other student try to help them
Good.
so they can work collaboratively to
So they're like
find the
peer
answer.
tutoring.
Yes.
Yes. And because they're going to be peer tutoring, do the girls have a good relationship with each other? Will they be able to help each other?
Yes,
Trust each
definitely.
other?
Yeah, in the past lessons, they have been helping each other and like pointing in the book when they need each other's support. So.
Okay. Last thing, what data would you like me to collect, and how would you like me to collect that data for you?
As during reading portion of the lesson, if you could write what question I ask, and then each student's response, whether it's correct or incorrect.
Good. So you would like me to write what questions you did and their response and whether or not that was correct or not, and the prompts that you used to get to the correct answer?
Yes.
I think that is it. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.